Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, on behalf of all the instructors of the Zenbei Butokukai International of Michigan, it is my pleasure to welcome you to our 11th annual Fall Michigan Friendship Invitational Tournament. Welcome everybody. It's going to be a great day of competition coming up here on Saturday. Welcome again to all, and of course welcome to those first-time competitors. We're so proud of you for getting out there and competing and putting your confidence to the test. I also want to take an opportunity today to welcome all of our special guests joining us from the Shotokan School and the Genbukai School. So thank you so much for partaking in today's event. We look forward to a great continued relationship, a friendly competition with you all. And of course, I do want to welcome all of our Zenbei Butokukai International Schools. Without all the participation of the student body, the families, etc., we wouldn't be able to put on today's event. So thank you so very much. And again, a big thank you to the volunteers and our judges today for being a part of today. And again, without the team, we couldn't make this all happen. Those of you that are volunteering, make sure you have your packets and your wristbands and your shirts for Saturday's tournament. Remember everybody, when you arrive on Saturday, there's parking lot 16 and 17 adjacent to the arena facility. And then also there is a structure a little further down the street if needed. We do our best to stagger the arrival times to provide parking spaces for all. Remember, have your wristband on when you walk through the arrival table. It makes checking, or rather walking through a lot easier because you already have your band on. We even have tables set off to the side to help you put your bands on if you didn't already do that. But walking through the front door with them on already is going to make your arrival process very, very quick. And remember, any shirts that we have for this tournament, any mouth guards that we have available, anything for purchase like that will all be available at that arrival table. And so we typically have two lines there. One is if you need to purchase something, whether it be a wristband or a mouth guard or a shirt, or if you already have your wristband on, you can walk through the other side. Someone will be there to check those and make that process smooth. There are locker room and restroom locations, high and low, in the arena facility. Just look for the signs and you will find them. When it comes to the arrival times, we were able to maintain most of what we put out originally. So black belts, we will start with them at 9 o'clock. And then 11:15 is our arrival time for our teen and adult competitors. We did move our little dragon to 1:15, a little bit later than we originally broadcasted. We know the teens and adults will take a little longer to finish based on the number of competitors. And so little dragons, you don't need to rush. If you're there at 12:45, that's fine. But more than likely, we won't be ready for you until 1:15. And we definitely wouldn't call you until that time and begin until that time. So keep that in mind, all the little dragon families out there. 1:45 is our arrival time for youth 9 and under. Keep in mind this is youth 9 and under below black belt, so colored belts. And then same thing will be for our 10 to 12, and that'll be at 3:30. Again, all the lower belt performers, not black belts. All black belts will be at the beginning of the tournament, and then they'll be there to volunteer and service us for the rest of the day, which we, again, appreciate. Now, what you'll see at the arena facility when you first walk through the entry doors is our very large division assignments chart where you can see the progression of the day as we check through the various divisions by ring. You'll also see a list called Find Your Ring, where you can look for your division and then find which ring it will be in when it does get called. And we typically stick to that pretty well. There'll also be a program there where there will be some specific information about the tournament, a scorecard to keep track of your own participation that day, and then various QR codes where you can access these documents electronically. All of these things are there for your convenience. When we call out divisions on Saturday, we'll call them out by the event that it is, by the age, the cue or number of the belt, the color of the belt and any striping in the belt, as well as gender if appropriate for that division, And remember, we go specifically by the rank, age, and everything that you put on your form. So sometimes you'll see different colors in the groups because different organizations do have a different belt structure, but what we always have them do is mark what's going to be the most appropriate to fit in with our system. And that way, the competition is structured to be as fair as we can make it. So please respond to what you put on your form. If you were promoted or something changed since you filled out that form, we will just simply move you to the appropriate division once we see that at the ring. Remember that there'll be various ring lines and performance line marks on the floor designating rings 1 through 6. When you're done performing, once a division is completed, all awards will be presented right there. So you do not need to stay for the whole day, only for the things that you're there to perform for. However, I encourage you to come, watch, and see everybody do what they do out there. It can be very inspiring, especially the black belt competition in the morning. Now, in between things, we do have the concession area at the top of the arena facility, and Oakland is kind enough to run that for us. We just ask that you do your very best to clean up after yourselves, as we are guests at Oakland's arena. Remember the restricted area of the performance floor, and that only staff photographers, and so on should be down there. And I would be very clear to say that we really want current staff on the floor. So black belts that aren't currently working or competing, we would ask that you stay off the main floor so that everybody can see and move effectively on the floor. Same would go for our volunteer staff. Please move off the floor unless you're currently working. It's a great time to take a break, watch, grab concessions, etc. Remember, at our tournament, everybody, there is no cheering or coaching, only applause for the competitors. The competitors have worked day in and day out, especially I would imagine the last few weeks, but since they began training to get to today, let's let them go out there and perform and do their personal best. Applause is great, but no cheering or coaching. We'd hate for us to see anybody get disqualified. If you notice any type of mistake or something you feel was incorrect, there are coordinators that stand on their feet at the rings, and they're in charge of the flow of competition. And you can bring it to their attention politely, and then they will bring it to our attention at the head table, where we can do a better job of handling something should it come up. Although, again, I'm happy to say that we do our best to be not only efficient but thorough in our planning process. Volunteers, just a reminder to you, consult the videos and of course your assignments. All these things have been sent out. Remember, black belts, that we will be doing a lot of cross training this tournament, where you'll get a chance to do not only the judging and score calling, but also time and score keeping, as we will put you into those various positions. So as black belts, be in the know the ins and outs of this tournament, and be there, most importantly, to help those that are new to the event. Ladies and gentlemen, we will start Saturday at 9 o'clock sharp with our national anthems, with our official bow-in. Team Kata for the black belts will be our first divisions of the day, and I'll tell you, those are always wonderful to watch, and I hope you'll all be ready to go. I would leave you today with just a few virtues from the competitor's pledge. Remember to compete with strong spirit and sportsmanship, but also to honor your organization, instructor, and school with that proper support. And we will have a great day of competition, everybody. Can't wait to see you there. Enjoy.